Good morning, Nigeria, and welcome to Ways Breakfast, the table where we stir up conversations, with warmth, and, just the right pinch of truth. Now, there's a saying that goes this way: justice must not only be done, but it must also be seen to be done. But what happens when justice delivered in the heat of public outrage? What happens when it comes in the midst of all the chaos and the outrage that comes with public opinions? Now, some days back, I think on Monday, the aviation world was rocked by the viral case of Comfort Emmanson, a passenger on Ibom Air. Now, what started as a disagreement over switching off your mobile phone before takeoff spiraled into a mid-flight confrontation, a dramatic removal from the aircraft, torn clothing, bruises, and now a lifetime ban from the airline. Now, the said airline, Ibom Air, says Comfort assaulted crew members and airport staff. Comfort supporters, on the other hand, insist that she was humiliated and mishandled. The airline has acted, the police have acted, but the public is still divided. Was this justice or judgment without due process? My name is Choma Kalu, and joining me to serve today's conversation hot and sizzling are my beautiful ladies here, Goodness Idehen and the very vibrant Ololade Akimboye. Now together, we'll pull back the layers of this case and ask the questions begging banters. Now come with me, let's see our ladies. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You look ravishing.
Thank you.
Yeah, how was your day, the rest of your day yesterday?
Rest of my day yesterday, it was good. It was great. However, I had to be jumping from one platform to the other, from one blog to the other, trying to follow up the story of Emmanson, Comfort Emmanson. So that was basically, aside work, because I spent the rest of the day working, that was what I did. And then talk about today. I mean, the time is just 8. And a lot of things have happened to me this morning. So here we are, and then I'm glad, actually.
Thank you. Goodness, how did you spend the rest of the day? I mean, after our show, of course.
No, I just went back to do the things I usually do. Actually.
Yeah, well, I think speaking on this issue of comfort, my day yesterday, I saw a different angle. And that angle is people that live in Lagos, some of them are not all right.
They don't have
Because tell me why all the public vehicles I boarded, why are we so angry in this country? Why? Everybody was screaming. Everybody was... And I don't speak Yoruba a lot.
It has been a nature that we had to imbibe
in Lagos.
And then a mindset that once you're in Lagos, there is no chills.
Oh, I refuse to imbibe that nature.
Everybody has something going on. Just like this morning,
it.
I would have taken the nature or the person of a mindset this morning because of what these bus drivers did to me this morning. It was quite sad, but I am not going to do that. I am going to uphold my integrity and my name. I'll be calm.
All right, we'll go on a very short break to, reflect on the significant events of history. And when we come back, we'll be looking at the stories making headlines in today's newspapers. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Would love to hear your insights, with regards to the conversation we'll be having on this table. And our phone lines are open. You can reach us on 070-2500-7749 or 070-142-42420. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can do that at Official Upgrade TV. Click the subscribe button now and share the link. Or you can tune in to channel 145 on your GoTV so you'd never miss a thing. Now, moving on to the stories making headlines on newspapers, we'll be starting with The Guardian, and Goodness will take us through that.
All right, so starting with The Guardian leads with outrage over Ibom air incident as IG, the Inspector General, orders Kwam One's probe. If you want to read that story further, you can read that in the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And above the masthead, we have Wadada and Soludo throw weight behind Tinubu for 2027. That can be read in page 3. And beside that, we have Nico's decries low drug supply and personnel for 8,000 inmates with health needs. Can be gotten on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. And below down the page, we have Lagos moves to regulate rent, curb abuse with new tenancy bill. And we have some other stories there, but looking at that story concerning Lagos moves to regulate rent, curb abuse with new tenancy bill, we have the Lagos State House of Assembly that has proposed a new law aimed at fostering harmonious relations between landlords and tenants by clearly defining rent payment structures, including yearly and monthly options and procedures for issuing eviction notice, among other provisions. And this can be seen, currently in Lagos, the rate or the price of, getting a house, renting a house, it's quite outrageous. Almost like every month, we keep on having rent increasing and increasing and increasing, and salaries are not increasing.
Very
so what can you say about that?
I quite agree with you. I feel like if anything is increasing, salary should. Because the cost of food and now rent, like you spoke very correctly, rent is skyrocketing. I have 2 friends that have seen an increase. And you're wondering what's going on. Did inflation happen too? And it's really sad. I think that's why the introduction of a monthly payment, right, came up. Yeah, and some people are still fighting it. Some people say, oh, that's going to put us under a lot of pressure. But I personally think we should give it a trial, right? Because in other countries, they actually do that, right? It's not a compulsory one-off payment, right? You pay monthly. I think is relatively going to help. Right?
Even this, I think for this law also, it will also help mostly the tenants against the landlords, because you have a situation where you rent an apartment, right? You pay your commission, an agreement and everything, and you've never spent up to a year, and the landlord is asking you to pack out. Like, how does that, I don't know.
Which actually even shouldn't be, but because a lot of us don't see rights and actually ride on tenants like that. But let's move on.
Let's move on to the Tribune newspaper, and then we are going to be looking at the headlines. The major headlines here on the front page of the Tribune newspaper: NBA, Labour Party, others flay treatment of female passengers. Right out to that story, aviation experts weigh in on ruly behaviors at airport. Police receive petition from NCAA on Kwam One. IGP directs Airport Police Command to begin investigation. And then we also have NSA to unfold fresh strategies to end terrorism. And the writer to this story is all of government, all of society to approach in the works. And then we have a story here that says Tambuwal released on bail as EFCC counters ADC. And the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has come out to fault the arrest and interrogation of Senator Aminu Tambuwal by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. But let us not forget that this same former president of Sokoto State was actually arrested because of the certain money that, that was found during his tenure between 2015 to 2023. But we are going to see how that play out. But the interesting story that I want to talk about, I'm coming from a very positive and to advise everyone, is the part of the story that says fast walking is key to longevity. So I am here in my health cap to advise everyone to try to be walking for at least 15 minutes every day. It is not every time that you feel like maybe
going to the gym
or walking is stressful and all of that. Try to take a walk. If you're having to walk every day, it's good for you. I mean, they say that it reduces the mortality risk by a certain %. So let us walk, okay? So
all right, thank you so much for the fitness advice. Moving on to the Punch, on the upper part of the paper, we have Borno villagers sleep on Cameroon streets and schools. EFCC targeting David Mark after Tambuwal in Hedioha. ADC. FG drops 60 billion naira fraud charges against S-Amcon MD. Quickly, police probe Kwam1 over Abuja airport's misconduct. And my story of interest, health sector crisis persists despite 5.4 trillion naira World Bank loans. I mean, like I said, we can't overflog the issue of Nigerians' healthcare system. Because tell me why the healthcare system is still in the state it is, even after collecting a total, this is an accumulation of over 9 years, a total of
5.4 trillion naira.
I mean, come on.
And this is what we are talking about. We were talking about it yesterday. We always have to talk about it, that the two sectors that we feel like, they don't pay much attention to is the health and the education sector.
My question is, where does this money go to? Because is it infrastructure? Because the primary health care centers, most of them are in very dilapidated state. You can't go there comfortably. I mean, if they were very comfortable with the level of work they've done, like you said yesterday, why are you flying abroad? Right? Why not? Is what you're giving to us. Why are you going abroad? Yeah. Right? I saw a tweet one time, and this guy said he lives abroad. He was telling his friend, "Oh, my former president just died." He said, "Oh, where did he die? Have you guys buried?" He said, "Oh no, we're still moving his body." He said he died in London. What happened to your health care? You guys have almost the best doctors in the world, right? Nigerians. I mean, you see Nigerian doctors doing exploits over there, even their nurses. So why don't we? The man he couldn't believe that a whole former president died in London. And it begs the question, what are you doing with all of these funds? Every day we're seeing fresh loans. It's just very disappointing. I don't know, but goodness, you have something to say to that.
Every day, too, we see how some government officials will confiscate money, behind the scene, and they come out publicly to say it's their personal funds. Yes, so will I say, since we have this particular amount of money, right?
As personal funds?
No, I said even personal funds being said to the public that this is for the health sector, right? That means we should, since we are not seeing the effect of the money, then we should raise our eyebrows to say there's somebody looting the money and putting the money into his own personal pocket.
I think that's
what we should say then.
Because the federal government will come out to say, "Oh, we build the
Some of them know, right?
A lot of people, they know when the money
oh my God.
That's just because, like what you said, looking at the primary healthcare sectors, right? The primary healthcare facilities, they don't even have facilities. I can start mentioning list
just
of
primary
yes, they don't have anything. You even see their roofs, thatched, everything. They don't even have any, just even appropriate first, let me just use the word first aid to attend to probably somebody that is a victim of an accident. They can't treat.
I was telling...
And you're saying we have this such amount being donated or given
loan, you have to pay
this particular sector, and we are not seeing the effect of it. Normally, outside the country, the primary healthcare system will almost give you almost the best of the treatment, even before taking to the major hospital. But here in Nigeria, please, if you take your people to the primary healthcare facilities around you.
I just think we need to do better as a country.
I was talking the other day. I said, do you know, I took the pain of going to a teaching hospital, I think, how many years ago? I went there in the evening because there were reports, people that had their loved ones there, saying, oh, there's no light in the hospital.
Of course.
I'm like, you can, and they came to debunk, oh, there's light. And I'm like, okay, it's no problem. It's close to my house. I can always
check.
So that day, I went in a disguise. I went as though I had somebody in there. You guys, I was seeing with my torchlight, my phone torchlight. And it was very sad. So imagine the passion I used to do the story the next day. Because it was really sad.
One thing they do, assuming
they 5.4 trillion naira that is unaccounted
assuming
for.
they were aware that you were coming.
Of course.
They would have turned on the
So I
or
think
something
I
like
tried to go in again after I had done the previous story, and I now saw the security tripled, and they were like asking questions, and I'm like, okay, no problem. But you know, it is really sad because at where we are right now as a nation, this shouldn't be our conversation. Every day we complain about high mortality rates, we complain about all of these things. But have you gone to the hospitals where these women deliver?
Very terrible.
Anyway,
very terrible. Let's even move away from that. I'm beginning to have some
know.
pictures. Let's just move away from that.
I get really emotional when I have to talk about the health because it's crazy. Anyway, we'll go on a short break. And when we get back, we'll be diving straight into our hot topic for the day. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Welcome back from that short break. Now we're diving into our story of interest, you know, proper. Okay, so our topic today is evaluation of justice, the Comfort Emmanson versus Ibom Air case. Now, let me give a little bit of background, okay? On a scheduled Ibom Air flight from Uyo to Lagos, Comfort Emmanson allegedly refused to comply with crew instructions to switch off her phone before takeoff. Now, this disagreement escalated, leading to a confrontation where she was forcibly removed from the aircraft. Now, viral videos show Comfort being dragged, her clothes torn, her wigs and her upper body exposed. Now, the airline has said she assaulted the purser and airport staff. Comfort supporters, on the other hand, say her phone was already on flight mode and that she was mishandled. Ibom Air responded with a lifetime ban against her. The police action followed and she has now been charged. This case has sparked public debate about justice, about fairness and due process in aviation, law enforcement, and even public judgment. Now, this is where I bring it home to us on this table because I believe all of us have a very huge opinion. Goodness was very passionate about it yesterday, and I think I loved the energy Goodness had about this story yesterday. And you know, you would think that okay, this would die down, but you know, as the day progresses, you're seeing different other angles, right? I just read on Twitter that the NCAA, you know, extended her ban to both local and international flights. I'm like, okay,
is getting a little
is that not too much? You know? And apart from that, I want to bring in the angle of, what's it called? The aviation minister. I love how he put his statement. It's so beautiful. You know, in as much as he condemned her actions as unruly and all, he was particular about the person. First of all, the person that posted the picture of the lady's dress being torn and that indecent video, you know, you have a choice of editing before you post. But you know how Nigerians are. In the heat of the moment, you want the numbers, and you want...
Now it's trending,
exactly. Right? I hope you're satisfied with this trend. I really do hope.
And I hope they get you.
And I also hope that you're ready for your repercussions. Like I said yesterday, every action has a reaction. So I hope you're ready for whatever they're going to do to you. You know, and Festus Keyamo, the aviation minister, has gone ahead to say, let's fish out this person that posted this video, because come on, we have to be sane in this country. We have to at least abide by the law. For me, on the side of comfort, right, I feel like a lot of things could have been avoided. But before my opinion, let me hear from the two of you. I mean, this story has been everywhere.
So what I would like to say, you know, let's start from somewhere. All right, so first, one thing that I would like to say is that in this country called Nigeria, and we have Nigerians, and we have people generally, there is a way to behave. I mean, we've already talked about and, you know, called out comfort for our unruly behavior.
Right.
And the people that we did not call out yesterday, that we are going to call out this morning, is the officials and the woman that everyone is dragging presently, which I want to believe is maybe the lead air hostess, or maybe the one in charge, because I would really need to call you the lead air hostess, because why do you have this much confidence? And a lot of people have come out to talk about their past personal experiences with this same woman, However, I understand that maybe she was also trying to react, but I just think that as Nigerians, let us do well personally. Because, for example, I gave an example that this morning I could have taken in the shape or the form of either of them, either comfort or this morning, with what the bus driver did to me this morning. But I chose peace to protect my integrity. So let us be that way also in Nigeria, honestly.
All right, goodness. Goodness.
Well, this story, I don't even know where to start from, honestly, because I have a whole lot to say. At the same time, I'm trying to just, you know, walk with the pace we have this morning. So first of all, I want to start with a statement that says, because as of yesterday, people were saying probably she has a mental issue, right? So if some people are saying Comfort has a mental issue, and we saw someone else replicating what she did as an unruly behavior, that means both of them are from the same family.
From the same institution.
Yeah, they are from the same family. So imagine, we have a situation, she boarded a plane from Uyo. You asked her to turn off her phone. She didn't. Like what I said yesterday, there are better ways you could have handled things. If you want to call something professional, you don't go with the method the passenger did. You don't go with the method. She was unruly, I accept. She's going to have her own share of her punishment.
But customers are always right.
Customers, you won't say customers are always right. She actually did wrong, by slapping the hair hostess. That's that lady, that woman. Will I call her a woman or a lady? She did really, really wrong, and I'm going to tell her that. But at the same time, I was also saying yesterday that there is something that might have spiked her action. We didn't see the beginning from where. I just want to tell the Ibom Airlines should please show us the video from when the air hostess told her to turn off her phone. And let's see how the event unraveled to this point. We can't just judge because of, they wanted us to see this aspect of where she was slapping the air hostess. And they were intentional about doing the video. Even when she was dragging, I think one of the men, when they wanted to pull her out, when she was dragging the tire, you could even see from the face of the man that the man was staring at the camera because he wanted them to video that aspect. No, it's true. It was intentional. Making of the video was intentional, right? And the aspect of because I critically watched the video again yesterday and even this morning to scrutinize things. When the lady slapped the air hostess, she was talking, oh, she's slapping me, she was calm. But at the time when they were pulling her out, if you could see, it was like just a few seconds. We could see the way the woman herself that was claiming that she was being slapped dragged or tore the lady's shirt. If you take a look over that video again, she tore the lady's shirt. What was her intention? To expose her dignity to the world. And not just to Nigeria, but to the entire world. It was part of the crew members that also leaked that video. Because who else would do that? So they have an intention of also doing that to her, to disgrace her, to dehumanize her.
I know that Ibom Air didn't quite show us the video, but, you know, I took my time again to go over the statements that they released. And the story has it that, oh, when she was told to turn it off, she didn't turn it off, you know, and someone else, the person sitting beside her, picked the phone and turned off.
We had to side of the story.
Yes. No, of course, I'm coming. Okay. So, it escalated. But now, here's where I'm going. Nigerian Bar Association have put out a statement condemning, you know, that treatment. Well, yes, she was being unruly. She was doing too much, I might add. But the part of, I mean, the guy that posted this picture or the lady, you have the power of attorney to edit that part or blow it out.
Do you know that yesterday I did not see that part? I only saw the part of. I did not see that part yesterday.
Even
it was the other part that I saw, and I just think that what's it called? You know, you were mentioning something yesterday as regards if they have the right to actually detain. You know, the lawyers said that they actually have the right to not stop her from going, because at that point that she was standing outside, there was already a chaos.
Yes.
But there's also a section in the law that also states that she has the freedom of movement.
No, hold on. Of course, she does.
But now imagine that you are an air hostess at that point in time. Would you have let her go?
Because
considering what had already happened, I think that aside the fact that, you know, by the time, you know, the officials came, the way they acted and took care of her and all of that, I think that they stopping her at the entrance and the entrance and exits was to actually stop, was to actually allow the officials come to her because of what has happened. Because according to the report, the statement said it went on throughout the course of the flight.
You said, from what we read,
well, the statement is right here.
Okay.
Yes.
Right? They said, let me read it out. She bluntly refused to comply until the pilot in command made an announcement, after which a fellow passenger
took her phone,
seated beside her took her phone and
switched it off. So it was
now,
not throughout.
This action prompted a verbal tirade from Emmanson, and the situation, when it was eventually calmed, the flight departed as scheduled.
So it was not throughout the flight.
Moving on.
No, they said throughout the
flight.
But now we've seen that it's not throughout the flight.
I'm reading it. Upon arrival in Lagos, Ms. Emmanson waited for all the passengers to disembark and then proceeded to confront the purser who had earlier instructed her. She walked up to the unsuspecting lady, stepped on her, forcibly tore off her wig, removed her glasses and threw it to the floor, used her footwear to assault her. She slapped her several times, and when the other cabin crew member tried to intervene, she slapped her too. She then attempted to forcibly remove a fire extinguisher to use as a weapon, an act that could have damaged and grounded the aircraft. Right? And so I want to get to the point where they stopped her from leaving the aircraft. Okay, I can't get to that now.
From the version of what I read, right? That was not the story that was being given. They said the crew member stopped her from leaving.
No,
it was in the
that's
news
where
that,
I want to
it was
get
in
to,
the news that
because
after
Okay,
she was
then-
they said she was restricted from leaving the aircraft after they had displayed all that in the aircraft. She was restricted from leaving because the security guys were already on their way. That's why she was restricted. Now, I'm not siding nobody.
Nobody,
Okay,
honestly.
I'm not doing that. In fact, I think I take the side of the aviation minister, who I must commend spoke really well. He said, in as much as this happened, this also shouldn't have happened. Do you understand? So he's blaming the two parties. In fact, all
the
of
three parties, the whole
everybody
parties,
involved.
everybody
Now, here
involved.
is where I want to stand on, right? Ibom Air should do better in training their staff. I have to put that out. Because as an air hostess, you should expect anything, right? Some people are really crazy. Some people, like, I'm not trying to shade them. Some people have something going on upstairs, right? So as an air hostess, in as much as we don't, you have your own rights as well. But on this job, a lot of things go wrong. I saw some other videos of like other countries where something like this happened. This woman wore a bikini in this particular video into the aircraft, and the air hostess came. And she was like, please, you can't look like this. There are children on this flight, and you need to cover up. And she came with a blanket. You know, and I don't even know how she did it, because the aircraft is usually very cold. And the friends of the lady, they were arguing. There was a heated drama. And the lady said, oh, I need to see your manager. The woman said, I'm the manager. What else? Who else do you want to see? At the end of the day, right, it was resolved. The woman took the blanket and covered. It was a 1-hour flight, for goodness sake. That's where I'm going to. Comfort would have avoided all of this. It's just a 1-hour flight.
Do you know what the woman has said? I watched a video that states that the woman, that's people that were on the same flight with her, though I don't know how true is that. That woman was calling her names.
Now,
First of all, hold on. First of all, I want to establish something. If you're saying, okay, probably she should have reacted that way. When she boarded the plane, she was sane. Wait. There was no issue with her and the air hostess. I want to make it. I want to drive a point. Just hold on.
The air hostess
I'm saying, when she boarded the plane, everything was calm till when she sat down. She had her seat, right? And you came to meet her, just like we had the other stories that people complained about the same air hostess woman that says, okay, there was an issue with this man. You told the man to turn off his phone. The man said he was going to turn off the phone. And you were shouting that, who are you? Do you know who I am? What's all this nonsense? I'm talking to you. You left. First of all, every airline operator should tell their workers to know how to speak to passengers appropriately. You just don't speak to them anyhow and command them as if they are a child or children that you can just, puppet, you can just do whatever you want to do with. First of all, then after that, we told her to turn off her phone. She didn't. Somebody else picked her phone forcefully and turned it off. The best thing, I believe that if it was to be another country, most times we African countries, we love to act like the Europeans. Every other time we have an issue, we're like, oh, the Europeans, they are like our yardstick of what we do in our own country. So to be in the European country, do you think they would have dragged that woman? First of all, the flight was when the flight was taken off, right? She did that. So before the flight could have arrived in Lagos, you could have made a phone call. It was a 1-hour flight or so. The officials could have been on standby.
But we know Nigeria. Nigeria can happen with the officials.
That's none of our business. Nigeria can happen.
Right.
Sorry, and one more thing. The officials that came, do we have any female officers there? They were all male. If it's to be another country, yes, people that were dragging her, we can actually have the footage.
During one story, the officials that came were men. Like they were.
You know what I'm saying? This is a female, right? We have female officers.
All right. Very heated, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to go on a short break. If you have your own opinion, please leave us a comment on our YouTube page, or you can call either of the numbers we called out earlier. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Anyway, we're still on Comfort and Ibom Air, right? So, goodness. No, it's okay. It's really okay.
I'm smiling at them.
I actually
always
love
when goodness brings
this
that.
table. You know why? Because there is no siding one particular. Everybody has a different opinion. So, but before we move to a question I have, goodness, please, what do you have to say?
Triumph. Okay, so
Triumph,
I really
rather.
wanted us to talk about the air hostess. So let's look away from the other people, but let us actually talk about the air hostess. And if I feel like we are not yet responding, I mean, the agencies involved are not yet responding to the air hostess like I would expect. Now, for example, the air hostess, when we look back at the story, I mean, this story generated a lot of things that has happened in the past.
Yes.
We see, I mean, I want to read some of the comment of this Christian creator that came out to talk about the kind of terrible experience that she has had with this same woman. And she has a lot of video of something that happened on the 24th of November, 2024. All right?
A flight to Ghana.
A flight to Ghana. And this woman was almost the same way, like what is happening, what we are seeing happen right now. But unfortunately, the focus is on comfort. The focus is on comfort. But in a situation like this, I really want to ask, who is this woman's sponsor?
Audacity sponsor.
Because the audacity everywhere, every time, coming from the same person. I saw a lot of people. I don't know if all the people that were talking were just, saying all those things.
They were not
and
saying
they were
it.
not true.
At least that lady
But
had evidence.
everybody were coming out to say that they've experienced this certain woman before. And I think that the same measure, the same speed that was used to mete out certain punishments to comfort should be meted out against this particular woman.
Yeah.
At least we should have gotten an apology from this particular woman right now because of the way things are handled and because of the other things that have been spoken about this lady. I mean, if we even say that we don't have the full clip, maybe all the people that they've turned off their phone, we don't have the full clip of this woman, but the past issues with this particular person should raise an eyebrow that, okay, who is this? What is going on with this person? So I think investigation should also be done.
Of course.
With the air hostess, like serious investigation should be done with the air
And they
hostess.
should be trained and retrained.
Trained and retrained. The lead air hostess. Some people are saying that, talk about the age, but I think the age should not be a problem.
No, that's
the age
the thing.
is not
Age
a
should
problem.
never be an excuse for bad behavior. I would never subscribe to that. Okay, so yes, train and retrain. I need to even know if she's a shareholder in the airline
because I'm wondering, and it was the same line, that thing that the person that came out to talk about our experience last year, one thing that she said was that she mentioned how that the woman was giving the attitude of, I am the one
boss.
in charge
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Whatever you people want to do, you people, you're going to, and anything that
She
wants
She
to
even made a
happen,
statement
I
that
can
the
stop
plane had to
in
even
between
turn back.
and then turn back.
The plane turned
Turn
back.
back. I mean, I can
To
read
where they
those
were coming
allegations
from, to
right
where they
now.
boarded the plane. The plane turned back because of this same air hostess. She told the pilot.
So that's why I'm saying
A
that
queen
a lot
I
of things
stand.
can trigger this particular person that we are talking
A queen
about.
I stand. But then, well, I think at this point I'm going to agree with goodness saying they are she's a family member of Comfort.
They are the same
Yes,
family
now
members
they are both family
from the
members.
same institution.
But now, well, for me, I want to pose a question, right? Do you think Ibom is, what's it called, punishment, or NCAA that extended her flight ban to local and international? Do you think I don't know. Do you think
That
it
was very unfair.
I think. Do you think it was
Excessive.
excessive? Also, do you also think it was triggered by public outrage or the way the viral video went?
Okay, I want to say something. Nigeria, we are very fond of having, the high and mighty going away with some, permit me to use the word nuisances in the country. Unlike those that are the eaglet or the common people. First of all, when we had the issue of Kwam One story that happened in August 5th.
Oh yeah, I was going to come to that.
Kwam One story in August 5th. His own was even the worst because he stood up obstructing a moving plane. And what did they do? They only gave him 6 months suspension and after that,
and
everything.
seized the license of the
Okay.
pilot.
Then everything died down. Because why? He's a big mogul in the country.
He gave public apology.
Yeah, he gave
public
public
apology.
apology.
Comfort
Now,
an
we have
opportunity
the
to
issue of
apologize.
comfort. What was the first thing? They didn't even have the opportunity to give her. Yes, for her to just talk and say her side of the story. The first thing you did was, okay, you first dragged that. First of all, I wanted to even talk about those officers. The way you dragged that woman, it was so terrible. She's not an animal living in the jungle. This is a country.
Did not even want to
this is a country where human being lives. Yes, imagine she has an health issues or health complications.
But if you have health complications, you don't really like
that. Even the way they were even dragging her foot, her legs.
Oh,
I saw that one. I didn't like that aspect.
I agree with you 100%. But
I didn't like that aspect.
If you have health condition, you will not rave mad like that.
Okay.
What kind of anger will push? Did you see her pulling the curtain?
Did you see how she was?
Do you know if probably she went for a business and it didn't turn out well?
Okay.
And she was wait now, the AO said something. I was not harassing her or probably calling her names on code names.
I mean, we've mentioned all those possibilities.
Okay, now, we're talking about this, what the punishment that was given to her, right? You gave her lifetime ban, not just locally, international. What happened to Kwamwan? Why can't you give him that also? Because I feel the law in this country should be no respecter of anyone. Whether you are Emmanson, whether you're in the government officials, whether you are the best friend or you are the family of the government officials, you shouldn't escape any law, especially if it's guiding or binding this country. So the issue of what was her name again? Comfort.
Your best friend.
For me, she's not my best friend. She's actually not my best friend. But I'm just seeing it from another angle, right? That the judgment was just too harsh and aggressive. Give her the opportunity to see her side of her story. Ibom here has told us their side of her story, and they've given us the clips they want us to see, because I believe that's not the total clips, right? So now let's hear from Comfort, and also let's give her the opportunity to also apologize. That's just it. The way everybody was clamoring for Kwamwan that we should tender justice with mercy, do the same to Comfort too. Her own was not even that bad. Okay, she had an issue with an air hostess, unlike Kwamwan that stood at obstructing a moving plane. So please, let the judgment should be fair.
Okay,
and
so
let there be
before we go, yes, I saw Uwa's video yesterday, and then she sang a song, that song of "Cause Your Papa No Be Down."
I mean, come on.
And then she was mentioning how that your own papa, say no be Dangote. And for the people that their papa na Dangote, we saw the results. Unfortunately, that's the kind of Nigeria that we live in, right? Yeah. That's the kind of Nigeria that we live in. But it also brings me to actually see from the perspective of sometimes when we come out to call the rich the powerful, I think we call ourselves maybe the ones that are not rich or the ones that are not powerful. I think we should also take care of our character.
Should that be?
No, I'm not talking about it. I'm giving like another point
it
of view
not.
now. Right now, I'm giving you another point of view. I mean, it's not right, but I'm saying that even we are not there yet, we should take care of our character. But the air hostess, Comfort, everybody involved. Let us also work on our own character, because somebody might get away with that same act, but by the time you do it, I used to observe that sometimes for me, it is when I want to do something that is not right, that's when the whole thing will go. Meanwhile, somebody else is already doing it. But by the time it's my turn, that is when everything will go the other way around.
Right.
So honestly, let us be very, very calm. If you have certain issues, like she said, if you know that you are in some kind of institution, take care of yourself, all right? So that's just my conclusion.
I don't know what you mean by some kind of institution, but then again, I feel like this whole Kwamwan Comfort saga, it goes to show us the Nigerians' approach to conflict resolutions and how connection really, really works here, right? Because I know that Kwamwan did not fight anybody or do what Comfort did, but even stopping a moving flight from taking off, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Even itself was at risk. Because I saw the video.
That is a lot, really.
A close call.
Right? So why are we treating it like he just...
It was not given a lifetime
ban.
ban.
Why are we treating it like he was a child that just ran into the wrong way? Oh, Junior, come.
And then you now come out to apologize.
We shouldn't do that. But then, Comfort was in the wrong, right? Comfort did what she shouldn't have done, okay? But then again, and then pointing to what you said, whatever triggered her anger is nobody's business. That is my opinion. Because if we all start acting according to what we are going through, honey, the world will be in chaos, right? So, but in as much as that happened, okay? I feel like it should have been handled better. And then again, I have a personal beef with the poster of that video. I really do hope he's fished out. I really do hope that they serve him the same judgment.
It could be she.
It could be she. Whoever it is, right? I really do hope that's thing that he's looking for.
That was even actually, I think, for me, I feel that's also one of their plans. Because for that hair hostess to even tear off her clothes,
well,
probably she wanted
for
that.
For the tearing of the clothes, right, my personal opinion would be, you know how everybody's dragging, pulling, and she's not letting go?
But when I
no,
hold on. I'm just saying, maybe it was a part of trying to pull her, and the clothes now tear.
That one was intentional.
Now, it's my opinion. Jennifer, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, perhaps that's what happened. But whatever the case is, right, tamper justice with mercy. And also, whatever it is, I feel that life, whatever.
And I think they should review that. They should review that on the comfort end.
And to we Nigerians, please obey the rules and regulations of the flight. It doesn't matter if technology has made it easy. There's no interference again with the aircraft. It's none of your business. If they tell you, turn it off, turn it off.
Like I said, safety instruction is simple.
Yes,
very simple.
There are also booklets in the aircraft that they tell you, oh, read for safety, for all of these things. It's just like when the aircraft wants to maybe turbulence and then it wants to crash, right? I'm so sorry to bring this up, but instead of you, well, people pray. I would pray. But as you're praying, all the safety things they're telling you, seat belt, do this one. Don't leave yourself and be praying. You'll be the first to die. I'm sorry. Right? Obey the rules and regulations. 1 hour flight, you are out of there. You meet up with your loved ones. That is all there is, really. There's no need going back and forth with all of these things. All right? Okay, so I wish we had more time.
Before we wrap up, I want to say my own last...
30 seconds.
All right, so... Please and please, for the airlines operators of Nigeria and every other body involved in this, airline operators of Nigeria, every other person involved in this, please give the opportunity for the lady to also speak up, hear our own opinion and a side of our story. And also for every airline operators, try to, train your staffs on how to manage passengers. Yes, everybody... We're not the same.
Management.
We are not the same. So learn, keep up that habit of training your staff all the time. Remember that we live in a country, not a jungle. And law should be no respecter of anyone, be it high and mighty or the eaglet and the common people.
Well, you heard goodness. Please listen to goodness. All right. So the Comfort Emmanson and Ibom Air story is not just about the flight experience gone wrong. It's about the way justice is applied when emotions are high and cameras are rolling. All right. Justice must be fair. It must be balanced and evidence-based, not just quick enough to satisfy public outrage. Airlines have to safeguard other passengers. They have to safeguard order. Passengers have to follow rules. Dignity and due process should never be casualties in the process. And if justice becomes a race to deliver the fastest punishment, we risk replacing fairness with theater, and that's a cost too high for Nigeria to pay as a society. Until next time, from all of us on this breakfast table, have a thoughtful and sane day ahead. Now, bye-bye. Have a good day. Okay, the dance.